One of the top basketball sneakers of 2021 was the Puma MB.01. Puma has maintained the overall design language of LaMelo Ball's second signature shoe, the Puma MB.02, same, but certain major tweaks have been introduced to separate the shoe from its predecessor. Is it, however, an upgrade? Today in this video, I'm going to perform a comprehensive review of this amazing shoe, so pay attention and don't squander or skip any seconds of this review. And don't forget to like it. Traction. The MB.02 has a feather-like traction pattern, and it's a multi-directional configuration that performs well inside. Because the pattern is tighter, you'll have to wipe the outsoles more frequently on dustier courts. It isn't a top-tier system, but it does the job. The outsole is rounded, and the traction pattern wraps around the medial side of the forefoot, keeping you protected on side-to-side motions. My pair features a transparent rubber outsole, and the compound is as sticky and gripping as the MB.01. I haven't played in a colorway with a solid rubber outsole, but given the poor performance of solid rubber outsoles on the MB.01, there could be a performance differential on the MB.02. You'll be okay if you get a colorway with transparent rubber. If you plan on playing in them outside, don't expect them to last long. Because the rubber grooves are narrow and the compound is soft, you'll soon wear through the outsole. Cushion. The MB.01's major flaw was its cushion. It wasn't horrible, but it didn't give much impact protection and had a good not great court feel. The Puma MB.02, like the MB.01, has nitro foam, but this time in the heel and forefoot. The rest of the midsole is made up of a thick, solid slab of compression molded EVA. Because I was using such dense foam as a carrier, I didn't get as much of the softer nitro foam as I would have liked. Even after extensive break-in, the midsole seems overly hefty and heavy, especially for a shoe designed for a point guard. The advantage of compression molded foam is its durability, but if Puma is going to utilize this dense foam, I would have liked a lower profile arrangement, not just for court feel, but also for a bit more flexibility and weight reduction. On the plus side, the MB.02's impact protection is robust thanks to the use of a thicker dual density foam arrangement. Overall, the combination of a thin, rounded outsole and a large cushion arrangement resulted in a less than pleasant underfoot ride for me. This might be a nice configuration for you if you're not too concerned with court feel or if you tend to compress and bottom out other foam cushions too soon. Materials. Engineered mesh and fuse, we've seen it before, but this isn't my favorite use. The mesh is thin and seems more like plastic than mesh, making the top feel fuse wide than I want. There are several advantages to this setup. The materials are sturdy and breathable, and they're strong enough to keep my foot from moving over the footbed. After some breaking in, the upper becomes more flexible, but it feels like a step down from the MB.01, which employed soft materials and a thin fuse to produce a flexible, robust, and pleasant top. Fit. I got my real size, and I'd suggest it to most people. The MB.02 is somewhat narrower and slightly longer than the MB.01. I had no problems with confinement using the MB.02, I felt locked in from heel to toe. The mid-top construction provides you a few more eyelets to deal with than a low, and the classic lacing method allows you to tailor the fit to your personal needs. When I laced these up to the top eyelet, the collar felt a little too tight, so I laced up to the second to last eyelet and had a nice experience. While they are a touch thin, they're not so tight that broad feet will feel excluded. When I laced them up and started playing, there was some extra room above the toe, which resulted in a monstrous fuse bubble. While I'd prefer an upper that fits snugly over the tops of my toes, this is a non-issue because it has no effect on forefoot confinement. If the materials were softer and more flexible, I believe the shoe would feel much better on foot, similar to the MB.01, but as is, the top performs its job of enclosing the foot and providing the foundation for the MB.02's support. Support. If you have a good fit, the MB.02's support will be robust. The shoe lacks an outrigger and a particularly wide base, but the solid midsole provides some underfoot stability. A midfoot shank plate, along with the thick midsole, makes the MB.02 a touch stiffer than I'd like. However, it also implies that the shoe will not bend in the wrong way. As previously said, the MB.02 does an excellent job of keeping the foot confined, and I felt locked in from heel to toe. Lowering the stack height of the midsole and broadening the base would have improved support. However, it isn't a deal breaker when it comes to support.